My major at Clemson is animal and veterinary sciences, so ideally my career in the future would involve being a veterinarian, hopefully with wildlife, hopefully doing some kind of rehabilitation or working with endangered species or anything like that. So I would kind of like to focus on wildlife in my career, but the problem with the United Kingdom with wildlife is that a lot of it is extinct or, has been hunted down to the point where it's not really there anymore. They do have deer, red deer, roe deer. They also have lots of birds, ducks, seagulls, lots of seagulls. They also have some land mammals like seals and dolphins, lots of dogs. But the more exotic animals, the ones I would probably be more interested in, like bears or wolves or elk or anything like that, have all been hunted to extinction. The largest mammal in Scotland now is just a deer. But that's kind of exciting too, because I know that some reintroduction programs are being started, and so it could be cool to get in on that. I know somewhere in the UK they're doing beaver reintroduction because they're extinct and they were a native species, so I think that would be really interesting to get involved with. So the process of being a vet in the UK is a lot different in the education aspect. At home, we have 4 years of undergrad, and then 4 years of vet school. You don't have to have a bachelor's degree to get into vet school, but it helps, especially if, there's a possibility you drop out in the end, and you'll have something to fall back on. In the end, you're in a lot of debt, but you have a doctorate in veterinary medicine, which is called a DVM, and you can add doctor in front of your name, which is kind of strangely satisfying. In the UK, all you do is you go to undergraduate school for 5 years, and that's it. And you're done. You don't have a graduate degree, no doctorate, no insane amount of debt. At first it sounds more appealing, but when I think about it, it doesn't seem as fulfilling in the long run to go through probably the same amount of work in a shorter amount of time and not get the doctorate degree that's really superficial but actually makes it feel more worthwhile somehow. But that's about it for the education. One of the other big differences that I have found out is that vets here don't wear gloves as much, or I guess it's a little different sanitation values than we have. At home, we would wear gloves to do anything, especially surgery. If there's an opening in an animal's body, you don't want to introduce any kind of bacteria to it. But apparently here, they wear gloves for things like cleaning hooves and, working with animals just kind of hands-on, but for surgeries, they don't wear gloves, which sounds really strange to me, but I'm sure they are really sanitized, so who knows. So even though the idea of becoming a vet over here seems more appealing because the smaller amount of school and smaller amount of cost of school, it sounds pretty good, but I don't think I would want to stay over here because they don't really have anything that I'm interested in animal-wise. I think the most exotic thing they've got is Nessie, and once I see that, then maybe I'll stick around and work on that, but for now I think I'll stick to being a vet back at home.